What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. Today we are starting a project. I know a lot of you guys that commented on the abandoned shop video were in my ass about refurbishing this thing. I didn't really think it was a possibility, but now we actually get to tackle it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my plans, and I've got my cousin Wyatt up there with me on the roof right now. We're going to talk about our plans for the race shop, what I'm going to do with it. We are going to try to race out of this thing again, so I'm pretty pumped, but there's a lot of work that has to be done to get this thing back functioning enough to where we can put race cars in here and, you know, properly go racing out of it. Today we are going to, a lot of the tin on the roof has, all the bolts have ran out, so we're just taking impact and hitting all the bolts on the roof, running all that back down. Wyatt's already been siliconing and patching some holes up there, so that's our first step. Just try to get the roof back to where it needs to be. If there's anything we need to replace, we'll do that. But I'm going to take you guys with me on that, and then we will walk inside, and I'll kind of walk through, I guess, our next step. We might clean out a portion of the inside today as well. I don't know. It depends on how long it takes us up top. But I'm really excited for this. I'll walk you guys through it. Come with me. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, let's do it. And take this 90s race shop, bring her back to her old glory. Take you with me. All right, so I got Wyatt up here with me. So this is what we're doing. Obviously this tin, what year did Papa build this?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay, so underneath this shop used to be a tennis court. So that's why inside it, and I'll show you that in a minute, inside it is all concrete. So the floor I'm not really worried about, but obviously this tin has been up here since the shop was built in the 80s. But let's see. So a lot of these have ran up like that. So they're gonna have to be ran back down, and then a lot of them need to be just tightened in general, a lot of these little bolts. So that's what we're gonna do, like that when it's ran up. So that's what we're gonna do to every freaking one of these, is run them all down with the impact. We have this entire side, and then we have the other side. That actually was an additional piece built on, which it's just a it's like a cover garage. It's not really part of the shop. So we're gonna get to that. Wyatt's gonna show us the holes he's already patched, and then we'll move on from there. So all these were the holes. Well, that makes sense because it does leak water in the back.
Yeah, I went in with a drainer the other day, and it was like 4 inches through the ceiling.
Yeah. It also runs through it, so we're gonna have to figure that out. No idea what Grandpa's doing. You know, major wood business here. We just collect logs from all over the county and stockpile them here. That's harder work than it looks. It's not even really work. It's just a lot of bending over. My battery's dead on my impact. I mean, we're not even a quarter of the way done, but a lot of them do need to be ran down, and then a lot of them are just stripping. Well, not a lot of them. A few of them are stripped, and you can tell they're already stripped. So I guess we're just going to try to snug them down as best we can. Eventually, this thing is going to have to be re-roofed, but surprisingly, not all of them are in bad shape. So we're going to keep at it. Finish this roof part, and then I'll take you guys inside. We'll go over our plans. That'll probably be it for this episode. So stay tuned. I'm gonna keep running this roof down, then I'm gonna take you guys inside. Let's get after it. I feel like we pretty much ran down the spots that needed it. There's obviously just spots that are stripped that are gonna have to be silicone like that. But to be honest, we don't really know where it's leaking without it pouring down rain and us being standing inside it and seeing it leak. So I feel like we got most of it done, and then whenever it rains, we'll see from there. But we'll walk you through it. I'll kind of fill everybody in on my plan and the method to the madness of getting race cars back in this thing. So this is also just more of the shit that is going to be removed whenever we're finished. My goal is to have all of this mess gone. So we'll be able to actually get a trailer in here again. Dad used to have his toter home that's parked here, but there's actually 2 garage doors. I'll show you whenever I get down here. Jet skis obviously will be refurbished at some point because they actually are not bad. They look horrible, but they've been sitting underneath stuff for a long period of time. until the guy gave them to us. But as you can see, there's 2 garage doors. Both of them should function, but this one over here has just mounds of shit in front of it, and it has for years. So try to get all that cleaned back up and be able to use both of these garage doors. Obviously, we need a new front door, so that'll come with time as well. But first things first, we just got to get a game plan on how to attack the inside, which obviously is not going to be an easy task. There is shit everywhere. So, most of it junk. Pretty much all of it junk. I mean, as you can see, they do work. Like, it is still functioning as far as being able to work in here, but there's just no space. I showed my uncle's truck in the first video, so he's made more progress on it, but it would be nice for him to be able to actually have some space to work. And then Wyatt's Blazer and some other stuff back here, but even with that stuff in here, like, there should be plenty of room, but there's not. I mean, there's just, moving back to the back of the shop, there's stuff piled. This little Austin Healey, does it even run?
It does. It needs a battery, probably.
All right, it needs a battery, so that'll be a project. But back there, this was like, also, sick-ass motorcycle. I mean, there's just random stuff laying everywhere. It's hard to tell. Whenever we get to digging into all this, I think we're really going to find some cool stuff. But as of now, it looks like junk, but I promise you there's probably some cool old vintage racing treasures in there somewhere. All this stuff, junk, trash, be hauled off to the gully. This was the scaling area, like I said in my last video, but I want to fill that pit in and make like a setup plate or just an area back here where we can do setup. There's outlets and all that good stuff to plug in. But all this should be carbe, like, you know, welding and metal utensils were once here. Now it's kind of just metal piping and a little bit of rod. But all that needs to be moved and thrown away or figured out what is useful and what's not. And then back here, I showed this in the other video too, tire mount and dismount. It also was a chassis jig at one point. The tire mount and dismount actually works. You just can't get to anything. And then this was built in where you can see the trophy room, which you can't even get to that at the moment because it's full of shit. And there's a stuffed dog's ass right there, looking right back at you. And then the bathroom, which can't even get to that. And I'm pretty positive the plumbing and stuff still works in the bathroom. We just,
I think the water's just cut off.
yeah, because it looks horrible. It looks like a mosquito's safe haven in there. Short and sweet first video, but here's the game plan. Jason Smith, the guy I've been racing for the last probably 3-4 years off and on. Great dude, works on his own stuff, loves to race, loves to go win. That's the car I've been racing this year as well, the one I won in. He is looking to get out of his current shop, and what better place to put 3 race cars and bring it back to life than the old Huffman Racing headquarters. So that's my game plan. If we can get all this stuff cleaned out, get it functioning again, Jason can move in. I can start working on my race car again because he still has my old chassis, which will have a front and rear clip put on it this year. So Jason can get moved back in here, and ultimately we can race again out of here. And Wyatt's going to have his own place for his plasma table. My uncle will still have room to work on his trucks, but it needs to be spacious and it needs to function like a race shop again. And that's our game plan. So if you want to follow along, tune in, subscribe to the channel. Let's try to get this video to, I don't know, the last one I said 60 likes. It's at like 90 something. Let's try to get this one to 80 likes. 80 likes on this video. I'm going to be doing a series on it, hopefully all the way up until the time we move race cars in, and then I'll be doing videos on us working on the race cars, going to the racetrack, and all that good shit. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of work, but I think it's doable, and you guys inspired me to do this, so I appreciate it. I didn't think it was even possible, but we're about to get to work. I'll see you guys in the next one. Y'all have a wonderful day. I'm out. Peace.